If it's necessary to change the valve in the transition feeder, the first thing you have to do is remove the lid. Secondly, remove any fittings that are fitted to the inlet of the water on the transition feeder. And then you'll note that the valve is held in place with the two M4 screws. Again, using a 7mm socket, you can remove those. In order to remove the valve from the transition feeder control box, first of all, we'll need to remove the two push-on connectors. Don't forget that these are mains electricity voltage. It's really important that the feeder is disconnected from the mains. So the valve has a solenoid coil placed on top, which is held in place with three small screws which need to be removed so that you can get access to inside it. Also, on the inlet of the valve there is a filter, and that can be removed with a pair of pliers, just gripping it and pulling it straight out. So to remove the coil, using a posi drive screwdriver, remove the three screws that are around the coil. So first point is not to lose the screws, and the second point, very important, is that when you open up the valve, the plunger is held in a central part of the valve, and when you remove that, there's also a small spring inside the valve. Don't lose either the plunger or the spring, and put those to one side carefully. You'll note inside the valve there is a silicon diaphragm and a central plastic boss. The central plastic boss has two small holes, one in the middle and one offset, and these are the holes that can on occasion become blocked and need to be unblocked for the valve to work again. To do that, I find it best to, with a small screwdriver, just to release the diaphragm and the plastic boss from the central position, and then run that under a running tap to clean the holes. While you're doing that, and having removed the filter, you can also flush the main body of the valve out and remove any dirt that's settled in there. Having cleaned the valve out and wanting to reassemble it, the most important thing is that when the silicon diaphragm is pushed in, the small hole that is offset on the plastic boss is to the side, one side or the other, doesn't matter which one, of the valve, and not in line with the axis. If it's in line with the axis, it may not seal correctly. Having put the diaphragm back in, the coil assembly with the plunger and spring intact can be reassembled on top of the valve, and then refit the three screws into position around the bracket. Removing the valve, disassembling it and cleaning it in this way will cure most problems to do with the valve. However, on occasions you may find that you do need to replace the valve. Specifically, that can be if acid has been put through the feeder. The reason being that acid deforms the silicon moulded diaphragm to a point where it won't fit the valve any longer. In that case, you have to refit a new valve. Another reason that the valve may on occasion not seal and close properly is because the water pressure is too low. The valve does need a minimum inlet water pressure of at least 1.5, but preferably 2 bar. And the reason for that is it's the pressure that actually causes the diaphragm to close and seal the valve shut. Refitting the valve to the control box is just the reverse process of removing it. So first of all, push the connectors onto the terminals on the valve, and then secondly, reconnect the push fit fitting, making sure that it goes home fully. Once that's done, you can just test it by pulling it, and then reinsert the valve into the hole in the control box and refit the two M4 screws that hold it in position.